Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Hello, hello. I am so happy to be here. No, seriously. Today was court over my dogs. I would have had a huge fine, but because I had already done some of the things that would have been required of me, securing my fence, making sure my dogs were registered with the city and microchipped, and I got rid of one because I could only have 2 dogs inside city limits over 50 pounds. And I had already taken the lady's cat to get the veterinary care that it needed, that my dogs had injured. So I'd already done what would have been required of me to do prior to even knowing I had to go to court. I had all that done before I knew that I would be called into court. So I got there and I had to pay a fine for each dog, each one of the 3 dogs, even though I did only have 2 now, but 3 were involved. And then I had to pay $70 court costs on top of that. So I was really pleased with that because my dogs are already registered with the city. They're already microchipped. They have been since they were puppies when we got them. And they are 2 years old now. And I'm sorry. I guess the stress of not knowing if I was going to be able to keep my German Shepherds or not has been weighing on me more than I thought it has, because I've been yawning all day long. And you'll see it in today's video. So, with that being said, I'm going to pull up my fair use disclaimer here. Here we go. The copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107, Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, yada, yada, yada. Drop that page. And then I'm going to get into my video. So, what we're talking about today is I got me some of that purple shampoo to make my hair look more gray. I love it. I love it. That's what I wanted. Look at all that gray. At least my hair don't look thin. It was going back blonde fast, so now it looks more gray again. Okay, so holy smokes! I'm sorry. What we're talking about today is California mom found taking a bath in a hotel while her 4-year-old is trapped underwater in a canal. Yes, the story is as triggering as the title sounds. It's a short story because I'll tell you, the mom has to go to court May the 7th at 1 p.m. Oh, who just pulled up? I guess it's next door. I can't see right out in front of me because I have a black curtain there because the sun goes down in the west and I'm looking out the west side of my house. So I pre-recorded this in case CJ needed to do my live tonight. So let's go into, wow, I look like I'm looking at me. So anyway, let's go into the video about a story I found on. Tonight we're going to talk about a story I found on True Crime News. Says it was from 4/16/2025, so it's just recently. And it says, Mom allegedly crashed into canal and left 4-year-old daughter trapped in submerged car to die. Just a second, I'll show you a picture. Okay, here's the story where it says, Mom allegedly crashed into canal, left 4-year-old daughter trapped in submerged car to die. Okay, the story says, in Stanislaus County, California, a 26-year-old woman faces charges after allegedly driving while under the influence, crashing, and leaving her young daughter trapped inside the car to pass away. According to the Stanislaus County District Attorney's Office, on the night of March 8th, authorities initially arrested Juliette Acosta on a DUI charge. The KCRA TV reports that Acosta was driving with her 4-year-old daughter when she allegedly sideswiped a telephone pole and crashed into an irrigation canal in the town near the town of Hickman.
A mother charged with the murder of her 4-year-old daughter after a suspected DUI crash in Stanislaus County. The district attorney says 26-year-old Juliette Acosta of Oakdale crashed into an irrigation canal off Canal Bank Road near the town of Hickman back on March 8th. She was initially arrested for felony DUI. Investigators say she had a blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit. Now she's facing a list of charges including murder, vehicular manslaughter, DUI, and more. Prosecutors also say Acosta left her partially submerged car while her daughter remained trapped inside, adding aggravating circumstances to those charges. She faces life in prison if convicted.
A deputy reportedly attempted to rescue the child, identified by prosecutors as Reagan Herrin. She was transported to a hospital where she later passed away. The criminal complaint alleges that Acosta was driving with a blood alcohol content around 3 times the legal limit. Acosta allegedly left her partially submerged car while her daughter remained trapped inside. The mother reportedly failed to render aid to her daughter, and authorities found her taking a bath while her daughter remained in peril at the crash scene. The district attorney's office announced April 11th that Acosta now faces charges of unaliving, vehicular manslaughter, driving under the influence of alcohol causing injury, permitting a child to suffer under circumstances likely to cause great bodily injury or unaliving, and resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer, peace officer, or emergency medical technician. Acosta faces up to life in prison if convicted on all charges. She remains held in the Stanislaus County Jail without bond. Okay, according to the Stanislaus County District Attorney's post from Facebook, District Attorney Jeff Logero announced today that Juliette Marie Acosta, 26, of Oakdale, has been charged with the unaliving of her 4-year-old daughter, Reagan Herrin. Acosta was initially arrested and booked on felony DUI. Thank you to the two people who are in the chat. I appreciate you being here. Please hit that thumbs up so that my algorithms can spread out and more people can see my videos. And if you like the content, please consider hitting the subscribe button so you can support my channel for free. And you can always talk to me in chat. I'm right here. DUI for an incident that occurred the night of March 8th in an irrigation canal paralleling Canal Bank Road near the town of Hickman. Acosta faces felony charges including unaliving, vehicular manslaughter, driving under the influence of alcohol, causing injury, permitting a child to suffer under circumstances likely to cause great bodily injury or death, as well as resisting, delaying, or obstructing public officer, peace officer, or emergency medical technician, according to the criminal complaint. Acosta is alleged to have been driving with a blood alcohol content nearly 3 times the legal limit of 0.08% when the fatal crash occurred. The charging document includes circumstances in aggravation, alleging that Acosta left her partially submerged car while her daughter remained trapped inside, failing to render aid to her child. Being located taking a bath while her daughter remains in peril at the crash scene and causing the death of a vulnerable victim. If convicted on all charges, Acosta faces a maximum sentence of life in prison. We recognize the significant interest the community has in this case, said District Attorney Logero. However, our responsibility to both the victim and the integrity of our legal system requires a thorough investigation based on the evidence and the law. This methodical approach ensures that justice is pursued based on accurate information. I appreciate the public's patience and understanding in protecting the process of ensuring our ethical obligations are met. Justice requires our absolute adherence to these standards. The charges follow a meticulous investigation conducted by the California Highway Patrol, the lead investigative agency working in the collaboration with the California Highway Patrol's multidisciplinary accident investigation team, the District Attorney's Bureau of Investigation, and the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department. I'm sorry, I couldn't stop yawning. I'm so sorry. The Stanislaus Sheriff's Drive team provided critical specialized support throughout this comprehensive investigation, which remains open. If anyone has additional information regarding this incident, please contact California Highway Patrol Detective A. Norcine at 209-545-7440. District Attorney Larego expressed expressed his appreciation to law enforcement partners. I extend my sincere gratitude to the California Highway Patrol and all assisting agencies for their dedication and professionalism throughout the investigation. These agencies, alongside our Bureau of Investigation, committed substantial resources to establish the facts surrounding Reagan's unaliving, enabling us to move forward with appropriate criminal charges. Acosta is currently being held without bail. She was transported to from San Francisco back to Stanislaus County by the California Highway Patrol. By law, Acosta has a right to a bail hearing during the course of the legal proceeding. Bail determinations, I am so sorry, are made by the court based on factors including public safety, flight risk, and the severity of charges, consistent with California law to ensure a defendant appears in court when required. Media inquiries should be directed to mediastanda.org. Okay, I'm going to try to play this.
Girl, 4, dies after trapped in submerged SUV and DUI crash into Stanislaus County Canal. A 4-year-old girl died at a Modesto hospital Sunday after being freed from her car seat in a submerged SUV late Saturday night, according to the California Highway Patrol. The child's mother, who crashed into a canal east of Hickman, was arrested on suspicion of felony DUI. Other charges are almost certain but could not be confirmed by the CHP. Shortly after 11 p.m., the CHP and other law enforcement and medical responders got a report of a solo vehicle crash on Arlberg Road where it ends at Canal Bank Road and the Turlock Main Canal. A Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office deputy was first on scene and found 2 people atop a vehicle that was submerged in the canal, according to a Modesto Fire Department incident summary. 1 child was also reported missing, the summary says. The deputy heroically, and without hesitation, entered the frigid water and rescued the driver's daughter with help from the child's uncle, CHP Modesto office spokesperson Officer Tom Olson said in an email Sunday. The plan was to take her to a hospital by helicopter, but it was determined that the patient was not stable enough to be flown, so she was taken by ground ambulance, the fire department summary says. The preliminary investigation into the crash found that Oakdale resident Juliette Acosta, 26, was driving a Subaru SUV south on Arlberg at an unknown speed, Olson said. She unsafely turned to the left off the road and sideswiped a wooden electrical pole, Olson wrote in an email to the Bee. The Subaru continued in a southerly direction, and again unsafely turned off the road, this time up an embankment and into the canal, where it became fully submerged. Acosta's uncle heard the crash from his residence, rushed to the scene and was able to get Acosta out of the SUV, Olson said. However, her 4-year-old daughter was still inside the vehicle within her car seat. PHI Air Medical, Oak Valley Ambulance and American Medical Response all responded to the scene. When the child was freed, she was taken by AMR to Memorial Medical Center for treatment of major injuries. Acosta, who was uninjured, displayed signs of intoxication and was arrested for felony DUI by the CHP. She was booked into the Stanislaus County Public Safety Center. Chief Deputy District Attorney Wendell Emerson confirmed Monday that Acosta had been released on bail. The Modesto CHP would like to recognize the heroic efforts from the Stanislaus County Sheriff Deputy and family member on scene, Olson said in his email. Law enforcement officers take an oath to risk their own lives rather than swerve from the path of duty. Although unharmed, this deputy did exactly that. This story was originally published March 9, 2025 at 9:52 a.m.
The Oakdale woman has first court hearing on charges of unaliving her daughter in DUI crashes. Juliette Acosta of Oakdale declined to enter a plea Tuesday to unaliving and other charges involving her young daughter's unaliving in a crash. Acosta, 26, is charged with unaliving, drunk driving, and other accounts in the March 9th unaliving of Reagan Herrin. 4. The arraignment was postponed to May 7th at the request of defense attorney Gil Somera. Acosta wore a jail uniform with red and white stripes and had her wrist shackled in her brief first appearance in the Stanislaus Superior Court. Judge Valley Israels ordered her to remain in county jail with a no bail warrant. About 40 family members filled the courtroom but declined to speak with reporters afterwards. At least one person wore a shirt that read "Justice for Reagan." Around a photo of the child, the same image is on the GoFundMe page, seeking donations on behalf of her father, Gage Herrin. The appeal also notes that excess money will do to prevent such deaths in the future. Somera said in court that he needs time to review a substantial amount of information from the prosecution. He plans to seek bail for Acosta at the next hearing. Chief Deputy Attorney Wendell Emerson, the office spokesman, declined to comment Tuesday. The crash was reported at about 11 p.m. March 8th on Alberg Road, where it ends at Canal Bank Road and the Turlock Main Canal. Somera could not be reached immediately after the arraignment. Oh, wait, I missed a part. The DA claims that Acosta was preparing to flee when she was arrested April 10th at the downtown San Francisco hotel. Her father, Clifford Acosta Jr., was detained on suspicion of aiding her flight. Somera could not be reached immediately after the arraignment. He told the Modesto Bee by email last week that the case should not be prosecuted as unaliving. He also said Acosta intended to surrender later on the morning she was arrested. Such accusations is not only unfounded, but appear intended to inflame public opinion and provoke undue scorn, Somera said. Acosta faces up to life in prison if convicted of murder. The other charges are vehicular manslaughter, driving under the influence of alcohol, causing injury, permitting a child to suffer under circumstances likely to cause great bodily injury or death, as well as resisting delaying or obstructing a public officer, peace officer, or emergency medical technician. So, that is all we have currently on this case. And that was according to a story by John Holland from the Modesto Bee newspaper or something out of California. So this is a very sad situation. I was looking at some of the here's another video. Let's see if it's if I can watch it. Some of these things you have to pay for. Okay, let me move my phone here. All right. Scoot this down. Scoot down. All right. Let me hit play.
And new at noon, we're getting the first look at the mother accused of murdering her 4-year-old daughter in a DUI crash. The Stanislaus DA says 26-year-old Juliette Acosta had a blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit when she crashed into an irrigation canal. Prosecutors say Acosta left her partially submerged car and her daughter trapped inside. This happened near the town of Hickman back on March 8th. She faces murder, vehicular manslaughter, and DUI charges. If convicted, she could get life in prison. And
Okay, just a second. Okay, here's another news clip from KRCA Channel 3. I'm going to raise it up here so you can see, and then I'll hit play.
We're following right now a mother arrested in Stanislaus County after a crash that killed her 4-year-old daughter. This all happened along Arlberg Road and Canal Bank Road near the town of Hickman. Authorities say that...
Okay, if I did this right, the legal limit is 0.08%. Multiply it by 3 is 0.0024, which is 3.12%. That's almost what the percent of a, it depends on the state you're in, but some states, the alcohol content in a can of beer is 0.5% or 5% or something like that. And if you've got 3.12% alcohol in your, either she's a lightweight or she was drinking too much. Either way. Hello to the second person in our chat. Please hit that thumbs up and please say hello if you'd like to. I appreciate you being here. Before you leave, please hit the thumbs up and do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile today. Let's go on and listen to this. It's almost over.
A woman was driving under the influence. KCRA 3's Anahita Jafari joins us live now near the intersection where this happened. Anahita, what can you tell us about this tragic crash? We are on Arlberg Road right now. Police say that the driver was heading this direction southbound. And as you can see right here, police also mentioned that it sideswiped this telephone pole, taking a chunk of wood out of this telephone pole right here. And there's even a stuffed animal and some flowers left on the ground in memory of that child that died. You can see the tire marks right here, ultimately going southbound on Arlberg Road and leading to that canal. Saturday night around 11, police say 26-year-old Juliette Acosta was driving a Subaru SUV southbound on Arlberg Road. The car sideswiped a wooden telephone pole, then continued moving, crossing over Canal Bank Road and landing into a canal. The car fully submerged underwater. Police say Acosta's uncle lives nearby, heard the crash, and ran over to it. He was able to pull his niece from the car, but her 4-year-old was still inside. A Stanislaus County Sheriff deputy got to the crash and without hesitation got into the water and rescued the child with the help of the uncle. Acosta was not injured, but her daughter was taken to a hospital where she ultimately died. California Highway Patrol arrested Acosta for felony DUI. She was released on bail today. In Stanislaus County, I'm Anahita Jafari, KCRA 3 News.
Trigger warning, I'm going to show you an image of the beautiful little girl who was left inside that car. This is the beautiful little daughter, the 4-year-old that was left inside that car. I cannot imagine. I'm looking down the page. There are so many stories, so many different news stations that cover the same story, but they all say the same thing. Allegedly, mom drove into a canal while drunk and her 4-year-old being trapped inside the car. charges filed in DUI, canal fatality. Attorney disputes claim that Oakdale mother tried to flee the charges. Mom left 4-year-old daughter in submerged SUV after DUI crash to take a bath. That's the part I can't get over. I understand that she was wet and dirty water from being in the canal and all that stuff. And I can forgive her wanting to take a bath. But I can't understand the wanting to take a bath prior to getting your daughter out of the car. And why was your daughter in the car if you were driving under the influence of alcohol? And why were you driving under the influence of alcohol? Wow. Mom drove into canal, trapping daughter 4, who fatally drowned. Juliette Acosta arrested, daughter unalived in DUI collision on Alburg Road, Stanislaus County, California. See, they're all the same thing. Nothing has new information though. So it's a sad, sad story. I'm going to try to follow this story because I want to know hold please. Okay, I thought that Fox 40 had a different story because they showed outside the courtroom. But it's the same story, and the only difference was a small sentence from the attorney that said, I want to get the report from CHP so I can thoroughly go over this before going before the judge. So, nothing new on this, but I will try to, it said that her court date was May 7th at 1 p.m. I will try to follow this, and I'm going to put Fox 40 News so that I can look it up and see what we can learn more about this. I fear that she will probably end up with life. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I don't understand how. Well, at 3 times the legal limit of alcohol, she obviously wasn't thinking clearly, and she probably was shaken up from having just crashed her car into a pole and then into a ravine, and it probably didn't even cross her mind that her daughter was in the car. She did manage to get a hold of her uncle, or her uncle heard it. She might have been on her way to her uncle's. But her uncle heard the accident. He got to her, got her out, and he probably, she probably didn't even tell him that her daughter was in the car, because I'm sure he would have gotten the daughter out. And maybe when she sobered up a little bit, she was in the bath, is when the uncle helped the police get the daughter out of the car. That's what I'm hoping. I don't have any definitive information on that. But that is a story out of California that we are following. It'll be May before I have any updates on this. So I'll let you know what happens in the future. Thank you for being here. Okay. On that note, I appreciate y'all being here. I want to show you one more thing. If I still have it, I didn't download it off my phone. Can't do it. Can't show you. Because if I pull up my phone, you won't be able to see it. Oh well, such is life. I don't know. I'll try. Okay, this is only 3 seconds long. Can you see it? I'll replay that one so you can see it. The cat's like, what the heck? That's how I go downstairs, and I live in the basement. This is my favorite one. Well, I have like 3 more to show you, but this one's my favorite one. Nope, that's not it. You're so cute. Don't take my batter spoon. Don't take my batter spoon. This one's so funny.
Why? Now your life is ruined.
The drama. I thought they were funny. I hope whoever's sitting back there in the bushes is laughing. I'm not making fun of anybody. Those were TikToks. So, but I thought it was funny as much as I've been yawning today. That little kitten on the laptop going just cracked me up. The things we look at when we're in court. Supposed to be paying attention to the judge. Okay, so the next big thing on my list, I'm putting out a video tomorrow. Then Saturday, well, I'll be live tomorrow night and Friday, Thursday, Friday. Probably not Saturday. Saturday is an all-day yard sale here over in El Dorado. And it's from 8 to 3, and I'm going to have a booth that's like a whole room this size that I paid for to be able to sell stuff. And I have some very nice things to take over there. I've got to get that stuff priced this evening, get started getting it priced. I'd like to just have a $2 table and a $5 table and whatever, But I don't know that I could remember if somebody brings something up off a $2 table and off a $5. These were both on the $2 table, then I would lose money. And there are people that would do that. So I need to get my pricing gun out. It's right here. It's right here. Let's get it going. Stick, 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 stick. Okay. And hello to the second person in chat. But I'm about to end this. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. How can you enjoy something as triggering as that? I hope I presented it well. Let's put it that way. Thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile. And come get me. I'll help. I would love to come get you and have you help me. But then your husband would have to come get you and bring you home. You know, let me talk to my husband. I'll see what I can do. Maybe now your husband has to work tomorrow night. I was going to say maybe we can meet halfway. But just take your husband's truck. He won't care. Drive on up here. Let him take an Uber to work. Okay. So thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile. And get lockered.